Me and Skeet was in a band, Uncle Remus, and then he left and he joined PFunk, so we had to replace our bass player. We had to replace him. And then that group broke up. And when that group broke up, me and Bennie and Greg Boyer hooked up and we was doing a group called People of Tomorrow. So then we got a call from Skeet to come and, you know, P-Funk needed some horns because the other horn players, the horny horns, were going out with Bootsy. So it was a vacancy. So he told us what to learn, and we went in the woodshed for about a week, and we learned all the stuff that we were supposed to learn. And then they came to Baltimore. They were playing at the Civic Center, and they came to Baltimore, and they were staying at a certain hotel. So we went to the hotel and we auditioned. And then they said they'd get back with us. They liked what we did. Then a couple weeks later, they called us. And our first gig was in Huntsville, Alabama in March of '78.
So what y'all think about the funk, man?
Oh man, he's all right, man. That's what's up. That's what's happening. George Clinton.
How long you been on it, man?
A long time, man.
It was a long time, since last week.
What?
Y'all ready for the funk? Are y'all ready for the funk?
Right. Ready for the funk?
You ready for the
Show in
funk?
Delaware up in
So what brought you out tonight?
over to New York.
I'm gonna check out the mothership.
What's happening, fella? We're doing a documentary. How you feel about the funk?
Old dirty bastard.
Grew up on
The
it.
old dirty bastard.
You say you grew up on the funk, man?
Yeah.
For what age?
Since I was like 4, my first album I remember was American Eats His Young. It's got the dollar bill on it. And my dad gave me his record collection. I mean, we were raised on that, whether it was Parliament or Funkadelic, you know.
85 shows.
How many shows have you been to?
85. Just trying to get over the hump.
Where'd you start
Over the hump.
So where'd you start the first show at, man?
Poughkeepsie, New York. Then we migrated down to Newark, Jersey.
85 shows.
85. Represent
You ain't tired of it, Joe?
DC.
You not tired of it, Joe?
Over the hump. Over the hump. Just trying to get over the hump.
Well, you know, I just, you know, I didn't anticipate it being this long, but it's a beautiful thing. You know, we've had a nice run, and we've done a lot of things, a lot of nice fans, a lot of nice musicians. It's been great.
How many of those different groups or those different brands did you get to play on?
Oh well, when we started out, we played with most of them. We played with Parlettes, The Brides. We did some of Bootsy, and we did P-Funk. Well, I learned from my father, first of all, who was a saxophonist, and he was an educator. I learned from him first. Me and my brother learned under him. And then we went to we took music in the schools. Back then you had music in the schools. And also we went to a man named Mr. James Holloman on the east side, East Baltimore. He had a community orchestra. So, and he had kids as young as 5, and he had people like my father. So it was the older generation that played along with the younger generation. You had the old and the young that played together. We did orchestras, we did teas, and we did banquets. So I got a extra music experience from that. And then I started playing in bands when I was like 11. So it started at an early age. Okay, yeah. Well, I just come in and I do what I'm programmed to do. It's in my DNA to when I first came, I was just playing sax, and then I said, I need to sing. So then I started singing, and then, if they need me, I play keyboards. I do vocals, If they need me, I play bass. If they need me, I play drums. I do, all of that. A lot of the stuff that we still doing comes from some of the arrangements from the Baltimore people. See, when we went on tour with George, we had a spin-off group, the Baltimore Connection. So we used to do different gigs around the area, around the Baltimore, D.C. area. And the arrangements we did, we brought them to PFunk. So a lot of the arrangements PFunk does is the arrangements that we brought to the band.
And now it's party time, everybody. Time to get loose. If you don't know the words, you can turn around and ask somebody, or just look at rock it out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, get up.
Matter of fact, P-Funk Horns played with Chuck Brown for about 7 years, off and on. I love the go-go. When I left Baltimore in the 80s and I moved to D.C. So when I first moved to D.C., I didn't know too many people. And I had a couple of friends, Mousy Thompson, who played drums, big on the go-go scene, played with James Brown. I joined his group. He had a group called Clockwork. Jerry Wilder, bass player from D.C. So I joined that group, and from Clockwork, that introduced me to the go-go field. And then from there, I got introduced to Glenn Ellis, which was Chuck's bass player. And then Chuck had issues with his horn player. And then I came in there. Then I brought Bennie and Greg in. Wherever I go, I drag them with me.
No question.
And,
all right. So the future, everything changes. Nothing stays the same.
Yeah.
Any idea, man, what's next on the horizon, man?
Well, what's next on the horizon? George is changing his format a little bit. Hopefully, you'll hear some of that tonight. Some of the new CD. And then, different members are doing different things. We all working on side projects, trying to get things done. And I'm working on something myself, trying to get it done. It's taking a minute, but we gotta keep grinding till we get it done.
It's never good to have social unrest. you know. And I happened to live through the riots, the Martin Luther King riots, when I was a kid. Hate seeing that happen again. At the same time, you know, we have some problems in Baltimore that somebody, not just Baltimore, the whole country, that everybody needs to kind of pay a little attention to. Well, it's always been good, you know, because it was real. You know, Greg Thomas and I went to junior high school together. Greg Boy and I were roommates in college. So, you know, we know each other, and, you know, we work well together. I really appreciate the opportunity to exert my individualism, you know, and break out a subcategory of people that, you know, appreciate what I do for what I do.
Real quick, man, what can we expect from you guys tonight, man?
Well, you know, if it's anything like what we've done on this last run, we're gonna go through quite a few things. Some things you've seen, some things you haven't seen. You know, George always trying to do something different, and, you know, tonight is no different. I think you'll like it, you know, because when it's all said and done, it's the funk.
Don't sing, just clap your hands. Don't sing. Head to the right, to the knee to the high. I got ace in the place and I need to dance. I just got you breaking my feet. You're desperate, me. You must get fucked so deep. Oh, but I do that, I do that, do, yeah. But